Okay. So what I want to teach you is about the situation. The recently the Japanese Prime Minister name is Abe. He died, and what how that gonna affect to Korea and the modern history in the surrounding the like Japan, Korea, China, even Taiwan, even Russia and Ukraine actually. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So before that, I want you to read this. Speak loudly, please. Yeah, loudly read this, please.
According to Article 9 of the Constitution of Japan, which was enacted after defeat in World War II, it does not have an official military force. Self-defense forces established after the enactment of the Japanese Constitution are replacing the military and used on the U.S.-Japan Security Treaty. They remain a combined defense posture jointly with the U.S. forces stationed in Japan.
Very good. Did you already know this fact, or is it new for you?
This is new for me.
Very good. So I'm gonna give you some more background information. So, how World War II ended? Yeah, World War II. Well, we're gonna separate for two different parts. The first Europe part of the World War II, it ends first, but some ally of the Germany, which is Japan, they didn't surrender. So American troops moved to the Pacific, and they keep continuing World War II. And but Japan, they never surrender. Well, it's a kind of a cultural thing, so because the if instead of surrender, I will do suicide, something like that. And they even have a the military tactic called the kamikaze, which is a suicide and kill the enemies. Anyway,
Mhm.
but America stopped that anyway. America finished the World War II. How? They dropped the two nuclear bombs, right, in Nagasaki and Hiroshima in Japan. After Japan immediately surrendered to the American general called the MacArthur. I'm sure you know who is he. Yeah, do you know who's a MacArthur, the general, right?
Mhm.
Oh, he's a very famous American general actually. From the we can put that he's the dark horse for the winning the World War II from the Japan actually.
Mhm.
Anyway, so this fact is what General MacArthur made it actually. Yeah. So Japan cannot have an army. Well, they can have like a national guard actually, but they cannot have an army. Yeah. So this is the fact you need to consider for what you're going to listen right now. Yeah. So, but recently, the Prime Minister of Japan, he died. And we're going to think about the worst scenario as a Koreans. Yeah, as a Korean, what we are seeing. But as I said, not my opinion, purely fact. So basically, Japan, they cannot have an army and they cannot able to have a carrier. Carrier is a very big ships, like a third, fourth floor. Did you even
Mhm.
know America carrier have a McDonald's inside? Yeah, it's so amazing actually. I had a chance
Really?
to, yep, I had a chance to enter and look at inside because I'm working with the U.S. Navies, yeah, and it was amazing, by the way. Yeah,
Mm.
so Japan, they not allowed to have this big carrier. But why? Why? Because a carrier. So for example, if America wanna attack Japan, yeah, it's too far away. It's too far away. So if you just send a few jets, yeah, well, it's possible, but well, it's gonna be very temporary or short attack. But if they bring the carrier to near to the Japan, they will have a more chance or more effect to attack the Japan actually. So the carrier is the key of the war. I'm gonna put this way. So Japan, they're not allowed to have that. Also, Japan, they not allowed to have armed with a nuclear. Mhm. Well, they hate it because they country are almost like collapsed because of nuclear attack from World War II. Anyway, they said we not gonna have a nuclear and we can't, we don't want because anyway they signed for the World War II after end. But since after that, actually, the Japan keep increasing the military force. I mean, not the military, like a national force. I mean, the National Guard forces, and they keep want to have a military again. But whatever they signed it because of that they couldn't have it. But the 2018, yeah, they starting having a carrier, and America proved that as well. Yeah, and the why, how? Excuse was the conflict between China and the Taiwan, actually. So Japan made an excuse about that. The China and Taiwan have a bad relationship, so I want to have something for depends my country. Well, that was just excuse because who never know China gonna attack Japan or Taiwan gonna attack Japan. We never know, but the Japan made an excuse and America approved it actually. So they starting having a carrier. So basically, what I want to say this part, the Japan, the force are keep increasing, and recently Abe dead, and that was a trigger actually. That was a trigger that yeah, the now the Japan can have a more military force. But why? Why? How? So the reason why, one of the government force in Japan is called the Jamin당 in Korea. So consider as in America, what is that? Yeah, let me show you this actually. Yeah. Uh, uh-huh. Yeah, let me see. I don't know how to call this in English. That's
Like
why.
conservative?
Yeah, conservative actually. Yeah, this one. Yeah, like this flag. What is the meaning this flag right now in America in 21st century?
Isn't it like I don't know exactly, but I
Mhm.
know it's controversial because isn't that the people that wanted to keep slavery and stuff?
Exactly. They are the one like a keep want to have like a force, and America is a great, and they're like a very extreme force. In Japan also have this kind of a force, and we call the Jamindang actually. Like they believe the Japan can be a world number one. Japan can be a great country again. Yeah. And how we know, by the way, yeah, because the Abe is the one supporting this group, and this group was actually the created because of Abe, and the
Mhm.
Korean hate Abe. The reason why, as we know, 1910 to 1945, Japan was a make Japan made Korea as a they colony. And they did a many like unspeakable things actually, like suffering Koreans actually, like make suffer to Korean, and killing for fun, like those kind of things. Yeah, more details of the how Korean gets suffer because of the Japanese. Yeah, I'm gonna give you more information later. It's a kind of very disturbing and cruel actually. Yeah, killing for fun. That's the what happened. Anyway, and the military force at that moment, like from World War II moments, actually, these soldiers are like dishonored. I'm gonna put this as dishonored, like a war crimes. Yeah, but the Abe they made like a cemetery that's similar as like this one. Mhm. Uh, mhm. Mm. I don't know how to call this in English actually, but yeah, how do we call this one? Yeah, this place.
Uh, is that where all the troops go?
Yes, exactly. From the World War II, the heroes died here.
Oh,
Heroes are
uh-huh.
buried here. Yeah. So the Japan also have this thing, but the problem is, they put the dead bodies like the war criminal people like put it here actually, and they keep serving nowadays actually, like they're great heroes in Japan. But as a Korean, what do we see? So they're just a war criminals actually. Yeah. So we hate that. But Abe is the one like keep supporting that actually. Yeah. So once Abe died, Koreans are getting so happy because of finally he died. But actually, someone who can see the more further future, they think it's a very bad things to happen, even as a Korean. Because as I mentioned, I just explained the relation between Abe and the force that conservative, like as I mentioned, yeah, who make a Japan great again, whatever. So they are not really having a good support from Japan before. When Abe was alive, they didn't have a good support from Japan, all of Japan. Yeah. Because they are very extreme, like why you keep making trouble? What can we just live like a normally like that? Why you want to keep have an army? Why you want to keep have a force? Why you want to have a nuclear? Yeah. So that was a normal people's opinion. But after Abe died, people are started supporting this group more and more. So
Mm,
they had like a vote, new vote for picking new president and new government force actually. And they got picked for the best government force right now, so which means now they can have a power for control some new stuff like the Japan, like having more power in the Japan. We put that way. They got a like a 2/3 actually, two-third of the vote all over the Japan, and which means now they have a power to change this. Yeah, now they
mm,
have a power to change Article 9, which means now they have a carrier. What will be the next move? Now they are trying to have a nuclear weapon. Yeah.
mm,
But what will be the excuse then? The excuse will be this, the war between Ukraine and Russia. But how? How? This is the Japanese move right now, actually. Yeah. So you see those small islands, by the way? Yeah. As you can see, this is the Japan, by the way, the Hokkaido, and this Kamchatka, this is a Russian land actually. But in between here, those are the Russian lands, yeah. But now Japan wanted to have again. It was a belong to Japan before from the World War II, but now they want to have again, and now they making trouble with Russia right now actually, yeah,
mm,
because they making excuse. Russia making war with Ukraine, and we feel threatened because of Russia land is here near to Japan, so we wanted that back. That's the what Japan making opinion right now actually. So what the worst scenario what I mentioned is, yeah, now the Japan is going to change this Article 9, which is we can able to have an army and we're gonna have a nuclear weapon. And after the things gonna happen. Reason why? Because we people not many people know about this fact. For making nuclear weapon, we need a plutonium. Mhm. And in Japan, they have a lot because they couldn't even use it. But now, once they change the Article 9, they can able to use it. Who knows? They can make a lot of nuclear weapon actually. Yeah. And that will be actually threatened all over the world actually. Yeah. Why I'm saying all over the world? We can see clearly the Japan's attitude for that. When the German lost it World War II, they apologize to every country, especially to the Poland, because when World War II started, they attacked Poland without noticing. That was a war crime as well. But and they killed like more than 1 million Poland people. Yeah, and they regretting kill the Jewish and Gypsies and attacking Poland without noticing, like making war crime, and they still apologize in 21st century. And the symbol of Nazis and this kind of thing, they even have a very strict rule because they regretting. Uh-huh, exactly. And there's a very stupid tourist in Poland. There's a big prison called the Auschwitz. I'm sure you heard of it in Poland, and this stupid tourist was making doing action for symbol of the Nazis actually, like for salute. And you know what happened to him or her? Yeah, they got into prison. Yeah, because the Polish people and the German people are like get so angry. Yeah, about that event actually. So yeah, you can easily find from the article, the news actually about that. So what we can see, the German are regretting about the situation, what they done. But what about the Japan? What about the Japan? Japan, they made a war crime to Korea and they made a war crime to China as well. But they said they did apologies, but no, apologies with the money, and that's all. They don't give us a sincere apologies. They don't change their attitude. Yeah. That is why the Korea and Japan we keep having like a trouble and the conflict actually. Yeah, like for example about the small island called the Dokdo. The Japan keep claiming that that's a Japanese land, but no, actually it's a Korean. Well, another thing, when they make a Korean woman as a prostitution, yeah, just for the soldiers in Japan in World War II. But the thing is, how they make them was like, we're gonna pay you, we need a labor, we just need a labor, but actually it was a sexual slave. That's what they done. But they just keep some bit of a money, and they said, yeah, we apologize, we are done, but why you keep angry? That's the day Japanese attitude. That's why Koreans are angry. Yeah. But why they are showing this kind of attitude? Because of Japan, they believe Japan can be a world number one. Yeah, but how do we know? We know from this one actually. Yeah, the Japan still using this flag, but look at this picture. This Japanese flag. This is Japanese flag, the left side, but it's the same symbol as a Nazi flag. Yeah, it's because it's a war crime flag. This is what they're using in the World War II. Yeah, in Japan. But the problem is that they still using it. They still using it for the National Guards, and they are very proud of it. But do you actually know what is the meaning of this flag? Uh-huh.
No, I've seen people post it on their stories and stuff before, like saying that it is the same as the Nazi one, but I don't know what is that the flag they used during World War II or something?
Exactly. This flag used in World War II, and especially for the war crime, the people are understand as a war crime because Japan did the bad thing as a Nazis. I'm gonna put that way. Well, if you want to know more information about that, it's a very disturbing news, but I'm just gonna give you, if you research on the YouTube, you're gonna see a lot of disturbing video. Yeah, try to search Maruta. Yeah, this is one of the troops from the World War II in the Japanese troops, but they did like a human experiment and stuff. Yeah, without human rights, of course. Yeah, yeah. But now back to this flag. This flag meaning, actual this flag meaning, the in the red circle in the middle, that's a Japan. And this straight, this stripe, the red stripe, is which means Japan is spreading all over the world. So Japan is in the middle, and we're gonna dominate all over the world. That was actually meaning. If you search up the history of this flag, you're gonna find actually that meaning actually. Yeah. So the Japan keep using this flag, and they attitude never change, and they are not like a German people, like no apologies, like no sincere apologies, and they don't regret what they done. Who knows? Maybe some of the Japanese will regret, but the most of them, I don't think so. Yeah, and now the young Japanese people, they don't even care about the history. They learn history like a wrong way. For example, they learned as a Korea wanted to Japan, I would say, Korea want to be a colony from Japan. Korean like asked to Japan, hey, can you dominate my country? That's what they in the history book actually. Yeah, it's really sad fact, but this is true actually. Yeah. So now because of Abe died, which is a most hate person as a Korean, the Korean people are being happy, but no, it's not really reason. I mean, it's not really timing to being happy because of his died, this governmental force called the Chamindang are getting more stronger, and now they have a power to change the Article 9. So they might can have a nuclear weapon, and which means it's gonna be World War III. Yeah, that's a worst scenario. That's what is going on right now. Yeah. Any question about this old story? Very good. Yeah. So if it's someone asking you, or if it's someone like wanting to talk about this, you can say to them. And as I mentioned, I didn't say anything about my personal opinion. Yeah, it was a pure fact. Yeah, so you can use it as a references actually. Yeah, because maybe like you might think because I'm a Korean, maybe I hate Japan, so maybe I'm really picking up side of a Korean. Well, it is a true. My personal opinion is like that, but what I just gave you information was just a general fact, actually. So yeah, you can find all those information from the news and the website. Yeah, but of course the proper website with the proper references. I'm not talking about like a shitty website, not like that. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's all about it about this modern history.